From a young girl in Oakland, California, to the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris's journey is one of determination, resilience, and groundbreaking achievements. But beyond the headlines and historic milestones, there are stories of grit, personal sacrifice, and unwavering dedication that truly define her legacy. Born to immigrant parents, her mother, a cancer researcher from India, and her father, an economist from Jamaica, Kamala grew up in an environment where education, activism, and justice were deeply valued. She often shares how her mother would remind her and her sister Maya that it was not enough to simply complain about injustice. They had to do something about it. This philosophy became the foundation of her career, driving her toward law and public service. But what truly shaped Kamala's perspective was her upbringing in a diverse community, attending civil rights protests with her mother, and learning firsthand the impact of standing up for what's right. Her time at Howard University, a historically Black college in Washington, D.C., was pivotal, not just academically, but in helping her find her voice as a leader. She became part of the debate team, joined Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and developed the confidence that would later define her presence in the courtroom and on the political stage. Her career in law was no accident. She was drawn to the justice system not just to prosecute, but to reform. As a young deputy district attorney in Alameda County, she took on cases involving violent crime, but she also pushed for a different approach to criminal justice, emphasizing rehabilitation and education for first-time offenders. When she became the district attorney of San Francisco, she made waves by refusing to seek the death penalty for a high-profile case, a decision that sparked both support and controversy. She later became California's Attorney General, where she fought against big banks during the foreclosure crisis, secured billions in settlements for struggling homeowners, and took on cases of corporate fraud. These battles showcased her ability to stand firm, even when under immense pressure. But while her toughness in the courtroom was well documented, what many people may not know is her reputation for mentoring young lawyers, especially women of color. She often took time to guide those entering the legal field, encouraging them to break barriers as she had. Her approachability and warmth, even in high-stakes situations, made her stand out in a field dominated by rigid professionalism. Her move to the U.S. Senate in 2017 propelled her onto the national stage, where she became known for her sharp questioning. During hearings, particularly in high-profile cases involving Supreme Court nominees and officials under investigation, her exchanges with witnesses were direct, confident, and unrelenting, something that gained her both admiration and criticism. But behind those moments of viral fame were years of preparation, discipline, and an unwavering belief in holding power accountable. One of her most significant legislative efforts in the Senate was co-sponsoring a bill to reform cash bail, arguing that it disproportionately affected low-income individuals. She also worked on measures to improve maternals, health care for Black women, an issue that remains close to her heart due to the influence of her late mother's work in healthcare research. Despite the political challenges, she continued to push forward, gaining a reputation as a fighter for justice. Yet, politics is not just about policy. It's also about presence. Kamala Harris has always been known for her signature style, from her love of Converse sneakers, which she often wears on the campaign trail, to her effortless ability to connect with audiences in an authentic way. Whether she's speaking at a rally or engaging in casual conversations, there's a natural ease to the way she communicates, making her relatable even in the highest positions of power. Her historic nomination as Joe Biden's running mate in 2020 was a defining moment, not just for her, but for the country. As the first woman, the first Black person, and the first person of South Asian descent to become vice president, she shattered barriers that had stood for centuries. But with that historic achievement came immense scrutiny, pressure, and expectations. Even in the face of criticism, she remains focused on policy, taking on key issues like voting rights, climate change, and global diplomacy. Her role as vice president has not always been easy, but her resilience remains evident. Despite being one of the most recognized political figures in the world, Kamala Harris still holds on to the values that shaped her: family, faith, and service. She often speaks about the influence of her mother, her close relationship with her sister, and the unwavering support of her husband, Doug Emhoff. Their dynamic has brought a refreshing shift to the traditional role of the second family, with Emhoff embracing his title as the first second gentleman in U.S. history. But beyond titles and positions, what defines Kamala Harris's legacy is her ability to inspire. Whether you agree with her policies or not, there's no denying the significance of her journey. From breaking barriers in law and politics to championing causes that impact everyday Americans, her story is one of courage and change. And as history continues to unfold, one thing is certain: Kamala Harris is not done yet. But what do you think? How do you see her impact shaping the future? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful content on the figures shaping our world.